With a passion for the arts and approval from the family, Andraia Allsop is pretty much the perfect partner for her rock star husband. Andraia Allsop and Wolfgang Van Halen met the very modern way online back in 2015, but it wasn't on a dating app.
Did you slide into her DMs?
I think it was a mutual sliding.
It was, yeah. Should I be hearing this?
We slid at the same time and collided?
Allsop made such a positive impression on Van Halen that he can still recall exactly where he was when they sent their first correspondence. As he told People magazine in 2023, "It was on the last Van Halen tour. We were about to play Red Rocks, and it was the day off before we played that I got my first text message from her, and it was like, oh my gosh." Van Halen and Allsop soon met up in person for a first date in Los Angeles that included sushi, sunset watching, and stargazing. As Van Halen reminisced, "It felt like this is meant to be. It's cheesy to say, but definitely love at first sight." It seems fair to say that Allsop has her mother-in-law's seal of approval. After all, Valerie Bertinelli also knows what it's like to marry a member of a rock and roll family. The actor and TV personality married Wolfgang's dad, Eddie Van Halen, in 1981, though they ended up divorcing in 2007. Fortunately, Bertinelli believes that her son and daughter-in-law are a match made in heaven. As she gushed to People in 2023, "It brings me such a nice sense of peace knowing Wolfie and Andraia have each other for the rest of their lives. They really get one another. Their humor is very similar, they like similar things, they know how to give each other space, and they're just so comfortable together." Bertinelli also believes that her late ex-husband, who died in 2020, would have been just as delighted. As she put it, "Ed would have been absolutely beaming, and so proud of the man Wolfie has become and is becoming, and is so happy that he has found Andraia, someone who really understands Wolfie, who he is, and who he wants to be, and supports him wholeheartedly."
Could I be more proud of my boy?
One of the many unique and touching features of Allsop and Van Halen's 2023 wedding was their choice of flower girls. Instead of handing the duties to the younger members of her family, Allsop tasked her grandmothers with the role, and there was a heartwarming reason for choosing experience over youth. As the bride explained to People, "Back in March, my grandfather passed away. But when he and my grandma got married in the early 1990s, I was about 3, and so I was their flower girl. So I thought it would be fitting and just a nice little moment to have my mom's mom and my dad's mom be our flower girls." Does anything say I love you more than agreeing to have a Swedish extreme metal outfit blast out of the speakers at your wedding? Well, Andraia Allsop proved that she was truly head over heels when she agreed to that very thing while getting hitched to Wolfgang Van Halen. She told People magazine ahead of their ceremony, "When I talked to our DJ, he was very excited about our vision. The one thing that I want Wolfie to have his moment of one of his favorite bands, Meshuggah." Meanwhile, the song that Allsop and Van Halen chose for their first dance was much less intense, as they opted for Peter Gabriel's In Your Eyes, which appealed to both of their tastes. Van Halen told Consequence, "There's a concert before our wedding that we're going to see that's Peter Gabriel, because he's on tour right now and he's just one of our favorite artists. So is one of my favorite albums of all time, and it was one of my dad's favorite albums of all time. So I've just had a connection with Peter Gabriel and his music forever, and simultaneously, my fiance is a fan as well. So we couldn't think of a better song." In 2016, Allsop graduated from the University of Utah with a degree in computer science. Since entering into a relationship with Van Halen, however, it seems she's been busy pursuing other interests. Anyone hoping to peruse Allsop's Instagram for insights into her personal life will be out of luck, as her personal profile is set to private. But she does have a separate account that shows off her passion for photography. She clearly has a keen eye, and it appears that she specializes in rock music gigs, specifically rock music gigs fronted by her husband, as the vast majority of the photos she's posted feature Van Halen doing his thing on stage. The photos that don't showcase her husband include a souvenir of her trip to Buckingham Palace, snaps of a bumblebee, and various stage equipment, and a selfie taken in Chicago. But perhaps best of all are the various pet cats with names like Sir Henry, Andy, Reese, and Bubby Bubberson. Meow! Eddie Van Halen died from cancer 3 years before his son got married, but Andraia Allsop was determined to ensure that her late father-in-law was still a part of the occasion. While speaking to People magazine about wedding preparations, she revealed it was her decision to incorporate Eddie in everything from the seating arrangements to the photo displays. As she explained, "We'll be having an empty chair that would have been his at the ceremony. We cleared out all the bookshelves and we've just lined them with photos of our family, our loved ones, people who've passed, people who couldn't make it. We want everyone included and everyone to be able to also think of them on our special day." Wolfgang also walked down the aisle with his mom to an instrumental piece entitled 316, which was written by his father. Allsop also revealed that, like her soon-to-be husband, she had suffered loss on her side of the family. The past few years, not only with the world, but also with personal tragedies, haven't been the easiest, but we wanted to create this wedding as a celebration not only just for us to get married, but a celebration for the people we love. Wolfgang Van Halen undoubtedly went through a tough time when he lost his father to cancer. He had been playing in his dad's eponymous band since the age of 15, and with the rest of the group deciding to disband soon after Eddie's death, he suddenly found himself at a crossroads. Wolfgang joined Guns N' Roses' live setup for a brief period, but then he decided it was time to launch a solo career. Instead of capitalizing on his famous surname, he decided to release records under the moniker of Mammoth WVH, and his wife couldn't be prouder of him. Allsop told People magazine, "One of the things that I love about Wolfie is his motivation. He is in such a unique situation where he could take an easy path, or he could take the path of playing every instrument, creating his own band, and making a name of himself. And that's the path that he has chosen. And I'm so proud of that. Wolfie is the hardest worker, and so I really love that about him." Allsop has joined her rock star husband and sometimes her mother-in-law at numerous public events over the years, including the Music Cares Person of the Year Gala, the Grammys, and even the Oscars. So you might think that Allsop and Van Halen can take all the glitz and glamour in stride by now, but their preparations for the 96th Academy Awards in 2024 were actually quite anxiety-inducing. Van Halen was there as part of Ryan Gosling's backing band to perform the Best Original Song nominee, I'm Just Ken from Barbie. As Allsop described it to People, "It actually felt like we were getting ready for our wedding today." Van Halen actually believed that his wife was understating things, as he said, "I think it was more stressful getting ready today."
I'm starting to think that Barbie couldn't have been made without you.
All that nervous energy didn't quite translate to awards gold though, as I'm Just Ken lost to another track from Barbie, Billie Eilish's What Was I Made For? Andraia Allsop might not be as famous as her rock star husband or TV star mother-in-law, but she is gradually building up her own showbiz resume. Her IMDb page doesn't list too many credits, although back in 2012, she was credited as Flower Babe in the music video for Muscle Hawk's Electric Light. More recently, Allsop has appeared several times on her mother-in-law's show, Valerie's Home Cooking. In the Starry Movie Night episode, she and her husband are treated to homemade outdoor cinema snacks whipped up by Bert and Ellie. And in the Only the Best for My Wolfie episode, she helps her husband celebrate his birthday by tucking into various dishes like spatchcock chicken, sweet potato fries, and vanilla cake. When she's not supporting her husband on the red carpet, or taking photos of him rocking out, or guesting on her mother-in-law's shows, Andraia Allsop likes nothing more than chilling at home with her man. She divulged to People magazine, "Home could be anywhere. It could be a hotel room, it could be a bus, or it could be our actual house. Home is just where the two of us are." That sentiment was echoed by her husband, who explained, "I think with our life and the way things are, the best thing and our favorite thing to do is to just be next to each other. Home is where we are together."